They can't teach this in school. Welcome back, my friends, to another live video. My name is Troy Stone King. Thank you so much for watching. The title of this is They Can't Teach This in School. A few days ago, a friend of mine, his name is Kent Julian, he put a quote up in one of the private face groups that I'm in, and it was this. It said, "Action leads to insight more often than insight leads to action." Action leads to insight more often than insight leads to action. And that was by Chip and Dan Heath. I had this quirk in my personality. I'm what you call a maximizer. That means that I want to have as many options as possible. And I want to learn everything I can before I make a decision and move forward. That's not really the point of this video, but it's foundational to this video. Here's what I've learned. I've learned that there's a limit to what I can learn through learning. Let me say it again, and I'm going to break it down. I've learned that there's a limit to what I can learn through learning. And here's what I mean. I love to read books, like all the time. I love to listen to podcasts. I love to watch educational videos. I love being in classes. I love every aspect of the learning process. And by the way, learning is critical to both changing your mindset and building foundational skills. You've got to have some kind of knowledge to get anywhere in life. And a lot of that knowledge comes from classes and books and podcasts and such. But I find myself getting frustrated because I feel like I keep reading the same things over and over. And on podcasts, sometimes I feel like I'm hearing the same things over and over. And I feel like I know it. But do I really? Several years ago, a business associate of mine told me something. He said, "Troy, you don't really know until you do. You don't really know something until you do it. In fact, you don't really believe something unless you've taken action on it." His point was, learning doesn't end, and my point is, learning doesn't end when you graduate from school, or you finish a class, or you finish a book, or you listen to a podcast that has some good information. That's not when learning ends. That's the foundation of learning. That's the beginning of learning. And I don't want to be too cliche here, but the truth is, learning ends when you've taken action. You've gained insight through doing it. Oh, no, wait. That's not when learning ends either. Learning ends when you quit learning. Learning ends when I decide to stop learning. And I decide to stop learning by either not reading books and not watching videos or listening to podcasts, or I stop taking new action. I stop making changes in my life. Some of you know, if you've watched my videos, that I'm working on writing a course right now, an online course, about how to properly ask for and get a raise at your job. Like, way better than the standard 2 or 3% raise that you get. But you see, I didn't get that knowledge to do it, which, by the way, I've used for over 20 years at lots of places, and it works really well. I've got a series of steps. I didn't learn how to do that because I read it all in books. I didn't learn how to do that because I saw it on podcasts. Now, some of the personality stuff I learned from books, and some of the personality stuff I learned from podcasts. But what really taught me what you have to do to get those kind of raises was taking the action myself, was gathering the information, was stepping out and changing the way that I behaved in my job, and changing the way that I behaved in relation to my boss, and changing the activities that I was engaged in to make me more valuable. You see, I gained all that insight by taking action, by doing it, not by reading it in a book. So here's how you should be working on your learning. First of all, learn what you need to know from reading, from classes, from school, from podcasts, from videos. Learn the foundational details, absolutely. But then take action. Take action in that area. You will gain such a different kind of insight and more insight by taking action than you get from a book. You know, the Titleist videos, they can't teach that in school. And it's true. They can't teach in school what you learn by taking action. That's why in some disciplines, there's great value in, for example, in education. They have you do student teaching. Why? Because you got to learn by doing with the kids. You got to be out there in the classroom. A lot of other ones require that you take internships. Why? Because you can't learn everything you need to know from the books. At some point, you've got to take action. You have to take that foundational knowledge and put it into play. Hey, thank you, Sandy, for those comments. I appreciate it. You actually have to step out. You actually have to step out. There comes a point where you've learned all you can learn from books and whatever, books and podcasts and videos. And if you don't take action, then what you've got inside of you, that knowledge you've got inside of you, will be useless. It'll be frustrating because you've got all this knowledge about what could happen, but nothing is changing because you or I haven't taken action. Remember the quote when we started the video? Action leads to insight more often than insight leads to action, by Chip and Dan Heath. Thanks to my friend Kent Julian for that. Action leads to insight more often than insight leads to action. Get your foundational knowledge, then go do it. Oh, by the way, let me kind of finish that whole cycle. Get the foundational knowledge you need from reading and from podcasts or whatever, videos and such. Go do it for a while. Gain a bunch of knowledge and learning from experience. And then when you're at that next level and you need more knowledge at that level, go back to some higher, some deeper books or some more involved podcasts, or hire a coach. And then take that knowledge and act on it. And you'll learn through action. And then guess what? You'll get to a point where you're like, okay, I've learned all I can through both books and action here. Time to go to get some deeper books in that area. Time to take a higher level class. Learning doesn't stop until you stop learning. And you stop learning by assuming you learn everything you need to know by reading books and watching podcasts, watching videos. So do it all. Get the foundational knowledge, then take action on it. And that'll teach you more than you'll ever learn. In fact, you can't learn more eventually from books. You've got to take some action. So, hey, my friends, here's the challenge. Here's the challenge for this. Tell me about an area, or think about an area where you're frustrated because you think you know everything you need to know about it, but you're not seeing the results, the change you want to see. The problem isn't that you don't know enough. You probably know plenty. In fact, if the problem were knowledge, then everybody would have six-pack abs and be rich. Because most of us have the knowledge of what it takes to lose weight and get in shape, and we've learned a lot about how to make money. If the problem were knowledge, we'd all have six-pack abs and be wealthy. The problem isn't knowledge. The problem is we don't take action on the knowledge, or we don't take enough action on the knowledge. So here's your challenge. Find that area where you're frustrated. The frustration probably comes from the fact that you know enough, or you know enough to start, and you haven't started. It's time to get started. It's time to make a change. It's time to take action. Thank you, my friends, for watching. If you got some value out of this, hit that like button. Thanks to all those who have made comments. This video, along with my other videos, goes over eventually to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Troy Stoneking, where I've got around 70 videos at this point on personal relationships, personal growth, and also Hey, thanks for that. And also, I've got videos on business relationships and leadership that I do over on LinkedIn, but I push them over to YouTube as well. One other thing to talk about, I did briefly mention in this video, I'm working on that course about the proper way to ask for a raise and likely get it way better than a raise you normally get in that standard 2 or 3% from your organization. If you're interested in that, send me an email, live, that's L-I-V-E, at TroyStoneKing.com, L-I-V-E at TroyStoneKing.com. It's no obligation. I'll just put you on the list of people who are interested to get details about the class when it's about to be released. So my friends, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Remember, you can only learn so much through learning. The rest you need to know comes through action. Have a great day.